Hey guys, I'm unable to be there today, so I'm making a video on the percent proportion. I'm also going to post this video on Google Classroom in case you miss anything in class, you can rewatch it there. Please be kind to the guests in our classroom, our substitute teacher. Please be helpful. Whatever they need, please make sure that they feel welcome. Make sure you're being safe with your mask above your nose. Keep your hands to yourself and use nice words towards each other. And lastly, make sure you're following all of the directions. All right, so our learning target today is I can solve problems using the percent proportion. In each situation, label the part, the whole, and the percent. So in this first phrase, 2 is 40% of 5. 2 is just going to be part of the amount. So let's write in the word part. Continuing on, 40%, since it has the percent sign, that's going to be the percent in this problem. So go ahead and write down percent. 2 is 40% of 5. So 5 is the whole amount. So we're going to write down whole. And the next one, 75% of 12 is 9. So we have to figure out which one's the part and which one's the whole amount. 75%, first of all, that's a pretty easy identifier as it being the percent because it has that symbol. So let's write down percent. 75% of 12 is 9. So 12 is going to be the whole amount. So let's write down the word whole is 9. 9 is just a part of 12. So we're going to write down part. Which word means part? So look up at the two things we labeled as part. What word do you see associated with that? The word is. So the word is going to tell you which one is the part. So please write in is. Which word means whole? So let's look at the two examples above. The whole amount is with the word of. So when you see of, that is going to represent the whole amount. And of course, which symbol means the percent? The percent symbol. So looking above, we knew which one was the percent just by looking for that symbol. All right, next example. In each situation, label the part, the whole, and the percent. 60% of 50 is 30. So we have to figure out really which one's the part and which one's the whole amount. 60% we know is going to be the percent. So let's go ahead and write in percent. 60% of 50 is 30. 50 must be the whole amount, which makes 30 just a part of 50. 30 is going to be the part. Next example. 8 is 20% of 40. So looking at this, 8 is going to just be the part because also it has that word is there. So 8's the part. 20%, well, we see the percent sign, so that's the percent in this phrase of 40. So 40 must be the whole amount in this scenario. So go ahead and write in the word whole. Okay, which word means part? So look at our examples, look for the part. What word do you see attached to that? Is. So the part goes with the word is. Which word means whole? So go up and look at the whole amounts. They use the word of. Lastly, which symbol means percent? And we all know that that's just the percent symbol. Label the part, the whole, and the percent. One will be unknown. Of the 30 students, 15 students loved the museum. What percent of students loved the museum? So first it says of the 30 students, 15 students loved the museum. The 30 students must be the whole amount of students. The 15 students that love the museum is just a part of that amount. And they're asking us to find the percent. Next slide. Of the 30 students who went on the field trip, 50% love the museum. How many students love the museum? So they start this by saying, of the 30 students who went on the field trip. The word of means the whole amount. So the 30 students that went on the field trip, that's the whole amount of students. Then they say that 50% love the museum. That's the percent. How many students love the museum? That's the part that we would be trying to find. Next slide. 15 students love the museum, which is 50% of the students who went on the field trip. How many students went on the field trip? So here they're saying 15 students love the museum, which is 50%. So the 15 students that love the museum is just a part of the whole group. It was 50% of the whole group. So that's the percent. And then they say, how many students went on the field trip? They're asking for the whole amount. So why is this important? Today we're going to be doing the percent proportion, which looks like this. The part over whole equals the percent over 100. And we're going to need to be able to read stories and figure out which number is the part, which number is the whole, and which number is the percent. The percent proportion also looks like this, where we also have the percent and over 100, but instead of the word part, we could say the word is, because is usually tells us which number is the part. And instead of the word whole, we could say the word of, because of usually tells us which number is the whole amount. So you're going to start with a proportion like this. 100 is always going to be in the bottom right corner. You're going to plug in the information that you know. Let's say you know the part and you know the whole, but you're trying to find the percent. And then we're going to cross multiply today to solve. So let's get into an example. Go ahead and go to the next slide. This example says, the number 12 is what percent of 60? So first we're going to set up a proportion and we're going to fill in the 100. So the 100 always goes here. Step 2, we're going to plug in the is, the of, and the percent, and we're going to put a variable in for the unknown. So let's reread the problem. The number 12 is, that's my is, so look at the proportion. It needs to go where the is goes. The number 12 is what percent? All right, I don't know the percent, so I need to put a variable where my percent would go. Of 60. Okay, 60 is my of, so I need to put a 60 where the of would go. Step 3 is just cross multiply. So here we go. First, we're going to circle the 60 and the x, and we're going to do 60 times x, which is 60x. Then we're going to circle 12 times 100, and we're going to write down 1200. Then make sure you write an equal sign in between those two. Since x is being multiplied by 60, we're going to divide both sides by 60. On the left-hand side, I can cross off the 60s, and I'm left with x equals. All right, go ahead and figure out what x equals. Okay, you should have gotten x equals 20, but not just 20, because we were trying to find what percent this was. So looking back, this should really be 20%. All right, let's go on to the next problem. The number 8 is 20% of what number? So let's set up a proportion and fill in the 100. So here's my proportion, and I'm going to put the 100 right here. Next, plug in the is, the of, and the percent, and put a variable in for the unknown. So it says the number 8 is, that's my is, so put an 8 where the is should go. 20%, okay, there's my percent, has a percent sign. Of what number? I don't know the of. So this time my x is going to go where the of should go. I'm trying to find the whole amount. All right, let's cross multiply. 20 times x is going to give me 20x. 8 times 100 is going to give me 800. Put an equal sign between the two expressions. Since x is being multiplied by 20, I'm going to divide both sides by 20. And I'm going to cross off the 20s on the left-hand side. X equals, go ahead and find out what x equals. Okay, you should have gotten 40, but not 40%. Because this time, we're not trying to find the percent. They gave us the percent is 20. This time, we're trying to find the whole number. So it's just plain old 40. Okay, next problem. 30% of 180 is what number? So first we're going to set up a proportion and fill in the 100. Now we're going to plug in what we know. 30%, all right, that must be the percent. Let's put 30 over 100 of 180. So 180 must be the whole number, so let's put it in the denominator. Is what number? Okay, I don't know the part, so I'm going to put a variable there. I want you guys to pause the video and try to solve this on your own using cross multiplication. Go ahead and pause. All right, so what we should have done is we should have multiplied across, put an equal sign, divided both sides by 100, and the answer we should have gotten was 54. Not 54%, just plain old 54, because we were trying to find the part number. We were already given a percent. So in this case, we're just solving for a plain old number. All right. Megan wants to tip 20%. What number is 20% of 75? So first, let's always fill in our 100. It says what number is. So we don't know the is. So let's put a variable for the is. 20%. All right, let's put 20 over 100 of 75. Okay, 75 must be the whole amount. So let's put 75 here. All right, please pause the video and I want you guys to try to solve for x. All right, so this is what we should have done. We should have multiplied these two and gotten 1500, multiplied these two, gotten 100x, put an equal sign in between, divide both sides by 100, x equals 15. So Megan, if she wants to tip 20%, Megan should tip $15. All right, go ahead to the next slide. Natasha's Grubhub order was $20. She left a $5 tip. What percentage did she tip? So first, let's just fill in the 100. Now the whole amount of her order was $20. So let's put that where the whole amount should go as the of. She left a $5 tip. That's just part of the amount. So we are going to put that for the is. What percentage did she tip? So we're trying to find the percent. So let's put an X for the percent. Okay, go ahead, pause the video and find out the percentage that she tipped. All right, we should have found that Natasha tipped 25%. Natasha tipped 25%. Okay, next slide. DJ Roomba ate 2 cups of dog food. This was 10% of the bag. How many cups of dog food are in an unopened bag? So go ahead and fill in your 100. So DJ ate 2 cups of dog food. Do you think this was the whole amount of the bag or just part of the bag? This was just part of the bag. So let's put 2 in the numerator on the left fraction. This was 10% of the bag. That's our percentage, so let's put that above the 100. How many cups of dog food are in an unopened bag? So they're asking for the whole amount of dog food. So let's put a variable for the whole amount. Okay, pause the video and see if you can find how many cups of dog food are in an unopened bag. All right, so we should have found that in an unopened bag, there are 20 cups of dog food. Next slide. What percent of 50 is 1250? So go ahead, fill in your 100. This says what percent of 50 is 1250. So I'm not given a percent. So I'm going to put a variable above the 100. Of 50, so they gave us our of. Go ahead and put 50 where the of should go. That's the whole amount. Is 1250. So 1250 is the part. So go ahead and put 1250 for the part. Pause the video and find the percent. All right, we should have found that the percentage is 25%. Next question. 8 feet is 40% of how many feet? Go ahead and fill in your 100. 8 feet is, so that is our part, that is our is. Let's put 8 in the correct placement. 40%, there's our percent. So let's put 40 above 100. Of how many feet? I was not given the of, so that is going to be a variable. Okay, go ahead and pause the video and find out how many feet is the whole amount. All right, we should have found out that the whole amount is 20 feet. All right, next question. 250 people were asked to name their favorite fruit. The results are in the table. How many people chose peaches? So let's just take a look at this table for a second. They're saying that 44% of the people chose apples, 32% chose peaches, and 24% chose oranges. And they also gave us a hint that 250 people were asked total. So let's fill in our 100. Since the whole amount of people that were asked is 250 people, we can put 250 people where the whole amount should go. We're trying to find out how many people chose peaches. And if you look at the table, 32% of the people chose peaches, so 32% should go above 100. And then our variable would go for the part of how many people chose peaches. All right, go ahead and pause the video and find out the number of people that chose peaches. All right, this is what we should have gotten. The answer is 80. 80 people chose peaches. Okay, for target practice, question number 1 says, what is 5% of 62? And question number 2 says, 84 is 75% of what number? I want you guys to pause the video, try both of these problems, and then unpause it so that we can go over the answers together. All right, you guys, here are my answers. For the first one, I got 3.1, and for the second one, I got 112. You could go ahead and leave this up on your screen if you need to check over your work, but if you're all set, you can start your homework. Thank you.